What is up? It is Andy coming to you on Thanksgiving Eve. Thank you for taking the time for making this show a part of your daily routine, especially when you probably have some Thanksgiving Eve plans. Now, the viewers of this show, they span a wide range of demographics. We have college kids out there like Stevie Bongrips out there in Detroit. Oh, he's going back to his local town. He's going to see that girl he went to high school with, never gave him a chance. She's still not going to give him a chance, but he's going to try to convince her how this is the year that the Detroit Red Wings are in fact back into the playoffs. So we got guys like Stevie. We got people preparing turkeys for their family. Like in A Christmas Story, that type of dad is watching this video. So you got a lot of different people, but what brings them all together are some NHL Sniffs, and we're going to need a lot of them because this is a packed slate, a jam-packed slate. I wish we could have had some of these last night because, you know, the night before Thanksgiving, people got to do some things, but who am I talking about? I know most of you are just going to be glued to that TV, seeing if you can hit the 12th leg of your 19-leg parlays. Even if you hit this one, you still have 6 or 7 left. But there are plenty of legs you can add today because it's a huge slate. I don't even know how 14, 15 games nearly every team in the NHL is playing. This is a catering event. It's not just a pizzeria. You got to have some pizzeria picks. You got to have some deli slices. You got to have some player props. And I did my best to find a couple of each for you on this slate. And I'm going to start with what stood out to me the most, and that is a game in Utah with the Phoenix, Arizona Coyotes. They're going to be taking on the Montreal Canadiens, and while I wish this had to do with the Canadiens, and I say you just got to target teams playing against the Canadiens for offensive player props and offensive points, this more so has to do with the Coyotes, Mammoth, Utah Hockey Club. Last game was one of those games that they needed. They had their classic October stretch of hockey where everyone thought they were going to be a great team. Then they had the, oh yeah, this is who we are stretch of hockey. And they were looking for that one game to bust out of it. Those guys like Gunther and Cooley, even Keller and Schmaltz, they were not producing at all. They got that game they were looking for. Huge win at home against the Vegas Golden Knights. That's the kind of win, in my opinion, that springboards a decent stretch of hockey. I don't know. It's tough for me to see them having an awful stretch, getting a big win at home against the Vegas Golden Knights, and then they just go back to losing 3-1 against the Montreal Canadiens on their own home ice. Now, I think this is going to be a good game, especially when you had Logan Cooley record 5 points, 4 goals in the last game. And that's somebody I'm going to be targeting. But before I actually look at those props, let me start you with something right out of that pizzeria. Because they had that offensive outburst, and they do have offensive talent, and when they do win, they tend to score. I'm going to go with the over 3.5 goals for the pizzeria crowd. I will go with the over 3.5 goals for the Utah Phoenix Arizona Coyote Hockey Club. And then, like I just mentioned, Logan Cooley, a guy who scored 4 in the last game. You remember when Peterka scored? And I was like, when a guy goes bar down like that, he usually follows up the next game with a point. Well, he got a point in that following game. And after a 5-point performance, you know Cooley's going to be shooting any chance he gets. Does that mean I'm taking the shots on goal? Absolutely not. The shots on goal crime family, you could clear that by the first and lose by the third. So I won't be doing that, but I will be taking Logan Cooley for a point against these Montreal Canadiens. And I know when I give you a point prop, I always try to pair it up with something. And in this case, I'm going to pair it with something that's hitting about 5 straight games. And it's not the only one on this slate. There are going to be a couple of defensemen where I'm going to show you what they've done recently. You're going to go, what? He has what in how many games? And Nate Schmidt is one of them. This guy has points in 5 straight. He's got points all over the place. He has that power play 2 correlation with Logan Cooley. So I'm taking that Logan Cooley point with a Nate Schmidt assist. And now you're north of plus 400. You know I love these the same way.
You never had your car.
So I'm going to go with that combo of Logan Cooley and Nate Schmidt for an assist. Schmidt's been producing all over the place. I mean, I'm looking around saying I might want to take his assist for plus 230 or whatever it is all on its own. But I don't have to because I like his assist. I like Cooley's point. And now you got yourself a north of plus 400 same game parlay. but I'm not done with Cooley. I'm still going with Cooley. 2 points for Cooley because, it's a holiday. Thanksgiving's going to be right around the corner, but I'm going to go with Cooley for 2 points and then Nick Suzuki for 2 points. That's north of plus 1,000. So I'm hoping this game brings the ruckus.
Like a Thanksgiving turkey!
Next up is a team that I briefly mentioned yesterday. I don't even remember why. I think I said every team is going to be able to go on their streaks. Every team can look good at some point, or was that Monday's video? Anyway, the Minnesota Wild are in the midst of an incredible stretch of hockey. I believe they've only let up 9 goals in their previous 8 games. Multiple shutouts along the way, including in the last game. Those are the types of teams I like to get behind. There's a reason I tell you guys, when a team shuts somebody out, I usually like some sort of under on the team that plays them in the next game, because usually you take that defensive confidence and the goaltending, that hot form that the goaltender is usually in, they usually roll that right into the next game. And that has 100% been the case with these Minnesota Wild. Now, I don't know if the Wild are going to score a bunch of goals or how exactly it's going to play out, but I'll tell you right now, you want a little pizzeria pick? I will ride the coattails of those Minnesota Wild who just went into Winnipeg, shut out the Jets, now are going to Chicago, who just got shut out last game at home by the Colorado Avalanche. I'm going to go with the under 2.5 goals for the Chicago Blackhawks. And now that we walked into the pizzeria, this is like a speakeasy type place in New York. You walk through the back door of the pizzeria, or it's like in Goodfellas. You're coming back through the kitchen and then you're seated back where you got some player props. These things aren't listed on the front door, but they are available. And this part of the episode is, it's called. We should rename the second half of these episodes Top Line, Top Power Play, because that's always what I'm looking for. I'm looking for good values, the top line and top power play of a team, and that's exactly what I see with the Buffalo Sabres. Sabres who have been scoring more. They're getting players back. They got Benson back. They're going to be getting Josh Norris back. And now the Sabres fans are going to get excited, as they do usually once a year, but this time around, we didn't even know if we were going to get once a year. But, their record isn't even as bad as the Toronto Maple Leafs right now. They're coming off a big win against Carolina. I'm seeing Josh Doan on that top line with Tage Thompson and Alex Tuch, but he's also on the top power play with Tage Thompson. Not Alex Tuch, but he's on that top power play with Tage. He's going to play a Pittsburgh team who, doesn't scare you by any stretch of the imagination defensively or in net. I think there's ample opportunity for Josh Doan to register a point against the Pittsburgh Penguins. And around here, you get a slice and a drink, you get a prop and a parlay. And I'm going to go with the Josh Doan for a point. You have 2 options. You can take Tage for a point. That's plus 190. Give me the Rasmus Dahlin assist as the power play 1 defenseman. So give me Doan for a point, Dahlin for an assist on the road against the Pittsburgh Penguins. I just told you everything that I did about teams who shut other teams out and goalies that are hot and teams rolling over that confidence into the next game. And that's what the Tampa Bay Lightning did at home against the Philadelphia Flyers in that last game. They shut them out, and now they're welcoming in a Calgary Flames team who is no stranger to being shut out and not scoring a ton. So when it comes to the Tampa Bay Lightning, who won't have Braden Point and have to win lower scoring games for the time being until they get that lineup situated, I think this is a good spot to take the Flames under 2.5 goals with Vasilevsky coming off of a shutout, Calgary flying a long way down to Tampa. This might not be the best game. This game is not set up extremely well for Calgary, which is why I'm telling you to kind of take that under 2.5 goals. And now is when I go Gollum on you. I go Willem Dafoe Spider-Man and turn to the other side. But I got a prop from Calgary. Because as I brought up Nate Schmidt, who had that absurd amount of points, like 6 points in his last 5 games, would you believe me if I told you that Rasmus Andersson has 10 points in his last 5 games? Now, I don't know if that's because there are trade rumors and he's playing for a bag this summer, but Rasmus Andersson has been the most productive player on the Calgary Flames. He's been running that top power play, but he's even been contributing at 5-on-5, all situations. And I have a hard time not taking him for a point when he's on that kind of run. I know everybody loves riding coattails. Oh, this is hitting extra. This is hitting 19 straight. This is hitting 21 straight. Well, you got 10 points in 5 games for Andersson. He's had points in each of those last 5. So I'm going to take Rasmus Andersson for a point against the Tampa Bay Lightning, who I just told you is going to be able to hold the Calgary Flames to under 2.5 goals. But a deal is a deal. You know, there are many things that you think. I didn't think that the defending Stanley Cup champion Colorado Avalanche were going to lose to the Seattle Cockroach Kraken. I never thought that the best regular season record of all time Boston Bruins were going to lose to the 8 seed who only got in because Pittsburgh lost to the Chicago Blackhawks. There's a lot of stuff you don't expect. So I don't expect Calgary to score a bunch. But you know, I could be wrong, which is why I'm going to take those good values whenever they present themselves. So give me Rasmus Andersson for a point. And if you get a prop, you get a parlay, because Coronado also has points in his last 5 games. So I'm going just like I did in that Utah game. Assist for Rasmus Andersson and a point for Matt Coronado. That's going to get you north of plus 300. And then before we head to Thanksgiving, to stuff our faces and then claim that the tryptophan in the turkey made us tired opposed to eating like absolute fat slobs nonstop, I got that one potential rat, the potential upset.
I got this rat.
Because everybody is unbelievably excited after you saw those Dallas Stars. If you took a prop on the Stars, it hit. And now they're going to play Seattle the next day. Oh, we got to take the Stars. Absolutely. They just beat the team who eliminated them from the Western Conference Final 2 straight years in their building, absolutely waxed them. Now, they have to travel right after the game, go play in Seattle. Their backup goalie's going to be in there. You think the excitement level is going to be the same as it was the previous night? I think that's an upset alert. Now, if you have to go to the pizzeria, you have to take the Seattle Kraken. My upset pick would be the Seattle Kraken to win. But me, you want to know what the same exact price is, the same value? You can take the Kraken because I think that will be the upset. I'm going to take Chandler Stephenson for a point at plus 132 at home on the top power play against the Dallas team with their backup goalie in who played last night. Dallas could win 6-3. And guess what? If I got my Stephenson point, it looks like I'm good to go. And then what will I do on top of that? Just to think, because you know, you get a prop, you get a parlay. Stephenson for a point, Vince Dunn for an assist. Outside of the power play combo, late night right before Thanksgiving. And that is what I have for you here on the busiest of Wednesdays. Good luck to you. Happy Thanksgiving to me. Make sure you're subscribed here to my YouTube channel. Did you enjoy this video? A lot of stuff. You enjoy everything. Just show your appreciation in one way or another. You can do free things that cost $0. I mean, it's Thanksgiving Eve. Show some thanks and start giving. Like the video, comment something down below. Tell me what you're thankful for.
Nothing!
Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Click the notification so you know when these videos come out, so you get it right away and you get the sniffs right out of the oven. Then you can do the things that help even more. I think, you know, this is a good Thanksgiving Eve type of thing to do on a huge slate. Click that hype button. I want more people to see it. I want the channel to grow, and you are in charge of that. So you can hit that hype button, help me out, support a creator. And the other way you can support a creator is by joining the Patreon at patreon.com/AndyFrancis, where you will get these sniffs before I put them out on the video, where you'll get the weekend sniffs. And anytime I'm off, you'll get those sniffs. And you can talk to the other sniffers on there. And like I said yesterday, in the event it's a coin flip on where you're going after it's all said and done, when they ask who you helped out, I'm going to have to lean in and be like, he helped me out. She helped me out. And then you get the cookies and the milk and the room with your name on it. I will see you on Friday for the next round of NHL Sniffs. Take it easy.